I see one set of eyeballs. What's up, ladies, gentlemen? Who is that? Come on in. Without my cup of coffee yet. Who is it? Who's watching? Come in, make a comment. Come in, come in. Robert Westbrook, Ardell. How are you? Young man? I'm guessing. Let me turn that music down just a bit. There we go. And where do you come from? Brixley, I think. I'm good, thank you. And you? Josh, what's up, Doc? Was thinking about you, Josh. I was wondering what you thought of our little exchange. You know, I ended up being on live for over 8 hours last night. Yeah, girl. Actually, Robert, I'm just using the Xbox to live stream as a platform for live streaming. So I'm not playing anything. Just using the smart TV in conjunction with the Xbox, and using the controller for my mouse and navigating. Unknown, howdy. How are you? Robert, yeah, where do you guys reside from? Where are you located in this vast world? Robert Brixley, military from Germany. Hoorah! What part of Germany? So cool. I got some pretty diverse countries visiting me lately. Brixley has an Xbox. Which model do you have, Brixley? More current, X or S? I've only got the older Xbox One. You're in the Midwest, so it's like 11:49 where you are. And how about you, Robert? Whereabouts are you located? Josh is in. Oh my goodness, Josh, where are you again? Up in Wisconsin, right? Oh, Robert's in Georgia. Sorry, I didn't see the GA after that. My fault. So we got Georgia, south of me. I'm in New Jersey. Brixley is in the Midwest. Um, top 5 reasons he would be a good president. He's brilliant. Uh, he's brilliant. He's brilliant, and he's really brilliant, and he's exceptionally brilliant. How about that? Yeah. Brilliant businessman. Grumpy. You know what? I know what my problem, why I'm so loud in the house. It's because I have earphones on, and I can't hear, how loud I really am outside. Oh, and I just found out he's a good golfer. Did you know that? Did you know that out? Trump is a good golfer. He deserves better than brilliant. You've seen the vids of what? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday at 8, so all your viewers know exactly when you'll be on. Oh, I see. Oh, what you did I miss a comment? Oh, one thing me and my son were talking about is for live to keep your views steady, to have a set time and day of the week so you come on so people know when to find you. Yeah, like a television show or the old TV guide when a show. I need to work on that, Josh. Um, I haven't really established in my mind what it is that I'm, you know, well, I have, but I'm not really consistent with, the subject. And maybe for now it doesn't matter. Just develop a schedule and stick to it, and then work on the content part next. Hoorah, Brixley. So do I. I think unknown. Um, well, were you following him unknown during his first 4 years? That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for him to continue where he left off. And in order to do that, he's got to reverse what was put in place when he was gone, and then he can continue where he left off. And I can't wait to see the world change. He'll not only change the USA. I mean, he was changing the world in his first 4 years, and it was amazing, jaw dropping to see it start happening. And then all of a sudden, it came to an end. So, Jim, welcome back. It's over boomers. Oh, you're in Europe. There you go, Josh. Yeah, obviously people don't like the man, and that emotion gets in the way. Um, then people start throwing comments out like it's over boomers. Instead of speaking business. Young punks tend to come up with those kind of comments. But anyways, yeah, I ended up yeah, online forever last night, and it was okay. It stayed pretty calm and collective, and I kind of stuck to my guns, and yeah, there wasn't going to be any change. I have some more questions for the guy, if he ever comes back, which of course I thought of after the fact. I'm not playing a game, Dragonfire. I'm just using the Xbox to control the smart TV and the browser. I'm online or on the live stream through the online browser, the smart TV browser. So how did he win the first time, Jim? And who are you gonna vote for? Biden? Seriously? What is my dream place to live? Well, USA. I was living in Tehachapi, California, which is the kind of the foothills of the Tehachapi Mountains, which is south of the Sierra Nevadas. And that was God's country up there. Anything that has mountains and pine trees and seasons is pretty cool. Wear technical gear to stay warm during the winter. And during the change of seasons and everything that goes with that is pretty cool too. At least for me. As long as I have what I need to stay warm and dry and fed, and the environment, which is more mountainous, makes me happy, puts a smile on my face. So who are you going to vote for, Jim? Back to the question. And why? You look like you got a lot of money. Wise, where are you from, Wise, by any chance? Third world country? That sounds like a third world country comment. That's okay. I got him, Josh, but thanks. Mountains. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's where my heart is. Yeah, north winters are killing me. I can imagine. Yeah, enough is enough, right, Josh? Tell us about your pets, briefly. Oh, so all of a sudden, just out of the blue, Harris pops up and you like that. You don't know anything about her, but you're going to vote for her because women of color. There you go. That's that sounds like America. That's how people get into office. Yeah, I kind of like that woman of color. I don't know anything about her, but she looks like good a good vote. 5 cats and 2 dogs. Well, I'll compliment you on the dogs. Not so much about the cats. But cats are kind of cool in passing when I pass them. You know, I can speak to cats, but as far as having them as a pet, yeah, doesn't really do anything for me. So, what are you up to, Josh, at 12 midnight? Is it midnight there in Wisconsin, or is it the same time zone? Eastern time zone or Central? Yeah. Somebody doesn't like Trump, obviously, just a person. His resume doesn't obviously count for somebody. What do you think of the pathetic excuse or tribe saying about the sloped roof Trump? Such a, I didn't. I haven't heard that documents, but there's lots that are going to come out of you know an event like that, and the Secret Service will go through whatever speed bumps they need to go through to try to prevent that from happening, and so on. Again, how much summer do you have left? Um, Alexa, how many more days of summer?
Here is an answer from an Alexa Answers contributor that I translated. There are 33 days left until summer.
Alexa, turn your volume to 8. Oh, goodness, she's not. And I have it as a guy's voice, so I guess I should call her Alex instead of Alexa. Oh, would that'd be a cool gig, huh? There, see, he's a punk kid, Jim H. Yeah, people like that don't need to be part of the conversation. Da General, da General. Sure. What can I do for you, Mister General? Who are you referring to, Josh? Sorry, absolutely. I would have seen him climbing up there. Oh, talking about the shooter. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been listening, but maybe you can tell me, Josh. Were they just not positioned in the right place to have the angle on that rooftop or something? Or well, for someone to actually follow through with that and know, I mean, he must have known he was gonna get killed. Yeah, it was like suicide by cop. Obviously, something going on in his head, other than I want to shoot President Trump. Um, I'm sorry, the general. You said, can someone fill me in? Oh, I see. About the right? Is that what you're saying? You know, I wouldn't be able to elaborate for you. Sorry. Yeah. Well, whatever he did, it worked, and he took a hell of a shot. So, and almost succeeded, right? Yeah. What kind of rifle was it, Josh? What did it turn out to be? Was it an M14 or what was it? M14. Yeah. Oh, did I tell you, Josh? We did we were bored, as many of us were while over there. And we decided, or somebody decided, to go out to the range and um, well, here, let me hold that thought, General. Maybe somebody in the audience will elaborate. But yeah, someone decided to do an informal test on the bulletproof vests that were available, at least that we were using, the Iraqis were using while we were over there. So we went out to the range, and I was part of it. A couple corpsmen, I think we were all corpsmen. Maybe there was a Marine in there, and we had the, the what are they called? The SAPI plates, the glass pack protection. That shatter on impact, and the Iraqis were using a 3/8 inch, quarter inch steel plate for their protection inside the their Velcro. And so we put those up at the range at about 75 feet, 25 yards, and we had a M16, an AK-47, and our M9. And at 25 yards, we shot at each of those plates, 3 rounds. Correct me if I'm wrong, the 5.67, that's the M16. 7.62 is the AK, and the 9mm. Is that the right numbers? 5.62, or no, 7.62, 5.67, and 8mm. And guess which? Hey, Rio. Which protection? 5.56? Yeah. Thank you. And 7.62. Correct. Right. Sorry. Yeah. 5.56, the M16. 7.62 is AK, and then the 9mm. And the 9mm was a no-brainer, of course. Both plates stopped that. And then the rifle rounds. First of all, as you know, once a glass pack gets hit, it's out of service. You got to replace it. And it stopped the M16 round, but the AK penetrated the glass pack through and through, and the quarter-inch steel plate from the Iraqis stopped everything. Nothing penetrated that quarter inch of steel. It did come through. It did bulge on the other side with the AK round, and it definitely probably would have broke, somebody's chest, but it didn't penetrate it. And so that Iraqi quarter-inch steel plate was the winner. And we're like looking at each other going, imagine that. Okay, Briggs, thank you for coming in. I haven't met you before. And Colton, hey, welcome back, Colton. Thank you, by the way, for your generosity. That was you, right, Colton? You're with your where are you again? Gosh, I forgot. Are you in Oklahoma or something like that? Yeah. Did you get the message in your PayPal? There's a message feature. Michigan, sorry. There's a message feature, a return message feature. I didn't realize PayPal had that, but I used it back at you. So. Awesome. Awesome. Cool. Super. Oh, and I did find out. Remember, we were talking about, how much YouTube gets, how much PayPal gets, how much, the percentages. And I found out the PayPal answer, and it's minimal in comparison. It's like anywhere from 2.9 to 4.4%, depending on the country and the method of payment that you use. As opposed to 60-40 or 70-30, PayPal's the winner when it comes to, the method of, if you're going to donate to somebody, use PayPal. They get it all. And they don't charge the person you're sending it to, they charge the sender. So I believe that's how it works. What did Colton say? Oh, I guess they're not new. They were using the Afghan and Iraq war. Oh, you were listening about the plates? The new military plates can stop an armor-piercing 308. Wow. That's ones you wear? Yeah, what was the name of the, what's the name of the, yeah, it was the SAPI plates. Yeah, that was then in 2004, 2005. They threw a gun at you? They threw their gun at me once. What is Josh saying? They say that Colt, but guess what? I wouldn't be willing to find out wearing. 11 did 3 tours in Afghanistan, and they did go through. Well, it does sound like they're at least a better than the ones before. How about that? Would that be fair to say? What were they throwing the gun at you for, Leo? Philip Miller. How are you, sir, young man? I'm going to guess. I am better than I deserve. Every day. Yep, that's for sure. It was a very detailed Nerf gun. Colt said, I'll say all the time, I watched a video recently and they stopped a 308. That's a deer rifle. Yeah, definitely wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of that test. Holy moly. What is a slap around? Educate me. Oh, you just answered the question. Yeah, like I said, when there was plenty of downtime over there, and we were thinking of things to do all the time. Philip. Sorry. Yeah. Actually, we were talking about his accident. Yeah. And then I asked what weapon was used, and then that led to a memory of being in Iraq and the protection that we were issued, and a little informal test we did out at the range while we were out there, and we shot an M16, AK, and a 9mm at the plates that we wore and the Iraqis wore. So we put both those plates downrange about 25 yards and shot all three of those rounds at the plates. And the 1/4-inch steel plate that the Iraqis wore was the winner. It stopped all three rounds. All right, Rio. Well, come back if you have time, of course. I was a Navy corpsman, Philip, providing medical support for the United States Marines, and Josh Eisen above you. He was a Army Special Forces Army Ranger. And Colton, I'm sorry, I remember you telling me your background or your family's background. I forget. What? Remind me again, Colton, what, or if you have any military background. And Philip, sorry, did you, I'm scrolling back. Where are you from and what military were you part of? I was an older guy when I joined the military, but I was in for 8 years as a reservist. Okay, I can say 7 years as a reservist, and 1 year was active duty over in Iraq. 10 months worth was active duty. But I was in the United States Navy Reserves, and then I got deployed in 2004, 2005. Oh, okay. And what is your age, Colton? What range are you? Oh, you just joined. What'd you join? Oh, wait. I'm from Texas. I joined in Easter, 43. What do you mean? Sorry. You're 19. Okay. Selena, there you are. Salina. Sorry. We were talking about, the, whether people should, be in a particular war period, whether or not the government should send troops to, here or there. And that's, when you volunteer yourself for the United States military, that is what you're signing up for. So it's not whether or not you should be there or not. Yes, that you should be there. Because why? Because you signed up for it. And so that's not, I talked about this last time. That's not what's important. What's important is what happens if you were to lose your life while you were anywhere, whether it's war, motor vehicle accident, walking to the store, in your sleep, whatever. What is a man to gain if he gains the whole world but loses his own soul? That's the question. Whether it's at war or et cetera, et cetera. I left America in 1947. I live in Italy now. But during the U.S. Army in Easter, 1943. Really? We got a history book in the house. That's awesome. What year were you born, Mr. Miller? If I may ask. I'm thinking of an older friend of mine and his stories. He was a Marine, United States Marine. Let me finish. My comment was my elder friend is 84, and he was born in 1938, same year my dad was. And he was a Marine, and he became my sidekick. He went to the Philippines with me. He went fishing with me, and we spent a lot of time together, and I used to hear his stories. Are you older then? Were you born before 38? Hoorah, check that out, Josh. Mr. Miller's joined the Army in 1943. I guess that's what threw me when you said that. You were born in 27. Wow, and you're still kicking. Hoorah. Seriously, Mr. Miller? You're 97 years old. 96, 97? Holy moly, that's awesome. You are. Are you? Are you able to walk okay? Are you using any assistance? Or because this 84-year-old friend of mine, the guy is amazing. It's just amazing to see the shape that he's in at 84. Still doing modified push-ups every morning. I mean, modified, but he's still got his regimen that he does. And he was walking pretty much the whole time with a backpack on his back in the Philippines for 3 weeks. He's 97 years old, guys. Holy moly. I know it. The guy's an encyclopedia. I love it. Mr. Miller, I would love a person like you. Is why I enjoyed having my elder friend with me, because everything was, not only that we talked the Word of God on a regular basis, but I just loved being with him. And for instance, the last Airbnb we did together, they had a wood stove, and we filled that thing with wood in the morning, or I did before he woke up, and I got that thing nice and hot, got the coffee on, got breakfast going. I know, Salina, you believe that? He was born in 27. 3 more years, he'll be 100 years old. Unreal. Yes. So, the big question, of course, Mr. Miller, is now, today, what is most important to you? Who do you give credit for your longevity? For everything. For your existence. Who gets the credit? Oh, I missed a comment up here. My brother was never the same when he came back from Nam. He took care of his family and worked hard. Yeah, you told me the railroad always did a day's work. but he drank super heavy. Oh, that's good, Josh. We could ask like simple questions like that and just compare, like, what were your meals at the Chow? I love it. That was awesome. Wow, who would have known when you came in, Mr. Miller, and you're like, who was in the military? I was thinking you were a youngster and you just joined. I thought that's what I was reading. But then I had to, it's like, wait a minute, what is the 1943? How does that fit into him being young? I missed your this comment. I was thinking you were a young person who was interested or had just joined the service, something like that. Oh, sorry. That was, wait, no, I'm correct. I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Bricks, you're back. Live, and I'm happy to see finally peace. Where are you seeing, how are you seeing peace, Mr. Miller? Uh, yeah, can you elaborate? Oh, you're thinking movies now. I love it. Well, I think I have told you the oldest patient I ever had in the back of my ambulance. Did I tell you that story? That was simply amazing. Um, yeah, I was transporting an older man back home to his nursing facility from a doctor's appointment or from the hospital. And if I'd said this story already, forgive me, but I'll say it again. And it's just something, it's just one of the calls that a non-emergency calls that we make um, as a basic EMT. And that is taking people that aren't able to get from point A to point B on their own, or they can't sit upright, like in a chair or in a car, and they're bedridden, so they have to be transported, lying flat. And one of the ways of doing that is in an ambulance on a gurney. So ambulances are also um, uh, I'm sorry, I just read Mr. Miller's comment and deciding what to do first. Read it. Hold on, Briggs. Hold that thought. Yes, is transporting, making these interfacility, we call them interfacility transfers, taking this elderly man back home. And I was doing his paperwork, and I had the information sheet, we call it a face sheet, has all his information, name, address, date of birth, etc., medical history, medications. And I'm just transferring the information onto my paperwork. And I came to his birthday, and the year kind of threw me, and it said, for instance, June 8th, and then they had the last two numbers of the year, and it was 98. And I was in the year like 1999 or early 2000s. Must have been like 99 or something. And I looked at the year and I thought, well, that's got to be a typo, because, it'd only make him a couple years old if he was born in 1998. And I was like looking at him, and I looked back at the paperwork, and I look at him again. I said, well, he's definitely older, but excuse me. And I got his attention, and he was still awake and talking. And I said, how old are you? Or what year were you born? And he said, 1898. And I went, what? I looked back at the paperwork, and I was like, that 98 isn't wrong. He was born in 1898. He was 105 years old. In the back of my ambulance, and I thought, holy moly, who was the president when he was born? I had to go. I didn't Google it. I looked it up, and it was President McKinley. And that's history book stuff. I thought, oh my gosh. Oh, let me go back here. Platoon is, maybe Josh would be able to explain it a little more accurately than I. It's a sub unit of a battalion. A battalion is like 600 people in the Marine Corps, and then from there it's broken down into subgroups. And platoon is one of the smaller units. If I remember correctly, the platoons that I was associated with were like 19 people. And then there's fire teams from that. And every branch kind of has their own, their own numbers associated with those. And Josh would be able to tell you. Mr. Miller, I appreciate you so much. How cool. I think you are the oldest member I've spoke with ever in chat. And I hope you're comfortable during your treatment, and all the best to you. God is good. Yeah, I tell everybody, make sure you know the truth before you take your last breath. And if you don't, ask somebody to share it with you. I had the privilege of doing that with my father before he died. Most joyous moment of my life. You still there, Josh? Are you busy? Into different platoons. Okay. Yeah, that was like half of, that was the population of FOB Heat when I was in FOB Heat. Approximately 250. 300, 250, 300, whatever the number was. And then the other half of the battalion was over at the Haditha Dam. And they numbered the same. So it was half and half. I always say there was Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie platoon while I was there, and I'm second guessing myself. It's like, was there a Delta? A fourth platoon? There probably was, but I just don't. It just doesn't come off my mouth, off my tongue when I repeat, because that's all I remember is Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. But I think there was a fourth one. It just doesn't doesn't ring a bell when I say it. So. And not everybody in the half of the battalion that I was with, were out in the field. Some of the guys were motor transportation, and some of them were cooks. They did shifts. Not everybody was out at once. It was this and that platoon went out for a day or two, or whatever it was, and did their operation, and then they came back, and then they played tag with the next guys who were kicking back at the fob and sleeping, and then they'd go out. The cooks did the same thing. Sometimes the cooks were out in the field as grunts, and then they'd come back and they'd be hands-on in the kitchen and preparing hot stuff instead of MREs. Yeah, I think so also. I just thought about it after the fact. I thought, I think there was a fourth one. What was I didn't I just I'm going to ask again only because more curiosity than anything is what happened that um, that medically discharged you? Is that correct? Did you hit an IED? Can you describe the sequence of events? What did that day consist of, or what did the day before, and when did you get the news, and then what did you lead up to the who, what, where? And this was Afghanistan, correct? 2000, I think you said 2008, 2009. Trying to remember what you've already told me. Well, plug it in, Bricks. I got you. So was it? I mean, I know after the fact, is always hindsight, but um, was it this? Were you traveling in the same? Uh, was it a new track? Why did you hit an IED if you can? You know, was it something new they placed, or you went over a section of road that was untraveled, or? Oh, you're asking the same question that somebody else earlier, almost word for word, Vishy. Oh, to kind of keep it short, my opinion on what happened is it happened, and it didn't surprise me actually. When I when he was in office the first time, I was telling my family the very concern. I said, what I'm worried about, honestly, is another John F. Kennedy. assassination. It was just, somebody as high profile as Trump and the attention that he was drawn to himself, and others were, the media were, running with, was just perfect, for somebody wanting to get rid of him. And it didn't happen the first 4 years. And then it happened here, a week or two ago. And of course it dropped, my heart in my stomach, but, it didn't surprise me. As far as, how and why it happened, or, is beside the point. It did. And yeah, I hope that, I hope it doesn't happen again. It's okay, Fishy. Appreciate you coming in. Love it. And where are you from, Fishy? Just like, what? Are you in the USA or foreign country? Or it was a new course we were taking because they blew the road up, so we had to take a different route. Okay. Yeah. You're surprised as well that it didn't happen sooner. Exactly. Remember during the first, I don't know if you were following the first campaign, the first election, that one kid decided to be stupid and tried to get close to Trump. Was it during his campaign for presidency? When that kid came up with, what was it that he tried to throw at him? A shoe, or I forget. But he broke a barrier and ran towards Trump's, like, from, I think in bleachers or something, or in a stadium. Remember that? They ended up tackling the kid. I think he was just doing it to, to make headlines, but. And the insurgents were waiting on us in a full 180-degree ambush. Oh, wonderful. From Colorado. Awesome. Driven through Colorado a number of times. I actually did, hey Josh, I don't know if I mentioned this, but speaking of Army, Fort Carson there in Colorado Springs. Sorry, is that in Colorado Springs? Fishy. It's on the other side of. It's in the Garden of the Gods area. Is that Carson, Colorado? Is that why they call it Fort Carson? Anyways, I did some paramedic continuing education. I needed to certify my paramedic license. And it was like imperative that I got it done ASAP, and I couldn't find anything in California near me. So I found something in Colorado, and I went ahead and paid for a ticket to go hang out near the Garden of the Gods. Fort Carson. You can Google it for me if you have the time, wherever Fort Carson is. And then I've driven through. Colorado Springs is on the east side of Colorado, and then up and over the Black Canyon, and then over the other side, whatever T intersection that is. If you go left, you go to Ouray, and to the right is St. George, Utah, whatever intersection that is. And then the Utah-Colorado border, you cross over down into Utah for a bit, and then I was going to San Diego, so I went through Vegas eventually, and then down to San Diego. Yeah, the Black Canyon, Gunnison, is God's country up there. And I actually went to a cowboy bar in Denver. There was a younger kid that gave me a trailer to stay in instead of getting a hotel the night before I was to leave. And he and his girlfriend, his mom, and his grandma, and the whole family took me out for dinner. And we went to a cowboy bar. It was like a warehouse with like 4 stages in it, and there was 4 bands, and I forget the name of the place, but that was quite the night before I left back to California. Oh, Colorado Springs. Okay, okay. Maybe I just didn't realize Fort Carson was in Colorado Springs. Yeah, Garden of the Gods. That's a rock climbing destination. I was in the rock climbing circles for, gosh, over 30 plus years. And that's a mecca for rock climbing, Colorado State. Well, cool. We got Colorado, we got Wisconsin, New Jersey, um, Bricks. She's in the Midwest somewhere. And let's see, we had Germany. Did we have Germany? I know in the past we've had Germany. Did we have somebody? Oh, Salina, she's in Kansas. And oh, I missed a comment here. Oh, Colton, Michigan. That's right. Yeah, this vertical live format um, tends to attract a pretty diverse audience. All right, Fishy, you said mate. Now, are you originally from the UK or Australia by any chance? Oh, what was 89? Oh, here, you just said, damn, last time I was in Colorado, I was seeing Bon Jovi and didn't remember much. It was a blur after that. That was 89. Oh, my goodness. No way. Where in California? I'm a San Diego boy, born and raised. Now in New Jersey. Don't ask. Well, that's definitely not a California greeting. It's getting late, mate. Yeah, I've covered quite a bit of ground in California. As large of a state that is, I've been fortunate to not too much venturing up in Northern California, but in Middle and South Southern California. 1 a.m. for you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, Mr. Kipper. Um, yeah, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. That'll notify you that I'm on again, if you so choose to. That'd be cool. Well, you know what? I did call this a short live stream tonight only because I just wanted to make sure I watched my time. And I think I'm gonna like give it another 7 minutes. That'll be 2 o'clock, and then I'm gonna head out and try to hit the rack. So I got my vehicles in the shop, and I thought he was going to get around to it today, but he texted me and said he was really busy. So tomorrow, he said he'd check it out. So I accomplished part of the problem, got it running again, and now it's a suspension. It's a job that I don't want to tackle. So let this guy take a look at it. Chad, what's up? Sounds good. I just got a new Ford F-350 today. Loving that. Gas or diesel? Oh, I bet. That's a big truck. It sounds lifted somewhat. Welcome back. I think you were here before, Chad. No? Diesel. Yeah. You gotta use, do they still use glow plugs to keep that thing warm during the winter? We always had to plug in our ambulance up in Oregon during the wintertime. They were diesel. Well, not all of them. Some of them were. Yeah, do they use that anymore? I mean, this was early, pre-2000. What do they use now to? Very much lifted, 38-inch tire. Yes, they do. But I have a heated shop. Oh, you do. Yeah, especially up in Wisconsin. Yeah. Do you use those warmers? Those what are they called? Heater torpedoes or whatever in your shop? First time I'd seen that back here on the East Coast, and that was the coolest. They're like jet engines. Yeah, that's it. Torpedo. Yeah, those things blast. Those things crank hot air quicker than anything I've seen. Uh, with a D, Josh. Nice try, though. Third time's a charm. Yeah, I think when I was building my Mitsubishi back in 2012, 13, I was having different work done at different places. Um, don't blame it on the phone. uh, and I met a kid that worked at Pep Boys, and he had his own shop at his home. He had his own garage and a lift, and so he's like, "Yeah, bring it over. Bring it over. I'll look at it for you," because he did work on both Mitsubishis and the Subarus. And so when I went to the Pep Boys that time during the winter, is when I saw those torpedo heaters, and I was like, "Whoa!" I heard it, and I was like, "What the heck is that?" And they had the doors drawn down, during the wintertime, and had those things cranking inside. And then also the kid that worked there at Pep Boys, he had one at his house in his garage. Well, all right there, Mr. Josh and Chad. I don't know if you're still watching, but thank you, bro, for at least dropping in for a short um, in and out. And Mr. Fishy Kipper had to get out of here, and the rest of them, anybody else that's still hanging out, thank you, thank you. And I am going to, what am I going to do? I think I'm going to eat something little, watch another YouTube channel of some sort, and then go supine on my rack. How's that? Mr. Josh, always a pleasure. Thank you, brother. Oh, my uncle lit his cigar stoke. Oh, off the heater. No problem, brother. Nice to see you again. Be watching out for you. Stay dangerous. Yep. Hoorah, bro. Or as the Army says, it sounds like they're coughing up a loogie. Hoorah! Well, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. And later, guys, later, gals. See ya. As you were.